Hello and welcome to Great Stories USA. Today's story is about American values and how someone down on their luck ended up becoming a major player in an impressive field all through his blue-collar wisdom, even surprising one of the smartest men in the country. Elon Musk was driving down the rough roadways of Detroit on a business visit to discover the old ways of American industry. The auto industry had fallen, and Elon had hoped to find the spirit of American ingenuity in this once great city, now ruled by greedy liberal bureaucrats who had taken the soul away from a place that was once the pinnacle of American productivity. Musk stepped out of his Tesla onto the cracked pavement outside an old auto factory in Detroit, Michigan. The once thriving plant, a symbol of American manufacturing, now stood hollow and lifeless, a casualty of sweeping economic shifts and stringent new policies favoring electric vehicles over traditional combustion engines. The air was crisp, carrying the scent of burnt coffee from a nearby diner. As Musk walked along the edge of the building, his mind was on expansion. Tesla needed more skilled workers, and he had come to scout locations. That's when he noticed the man. He sat against a cold steel fence, bundled in a faded Detroit Lions jacket, his beard scruffy, but his eyes sharp and alert. A cardboard sign beside him read, "Will work for food." Musk stopped. "Rough times." The man looked up, skeptical. "You could say that. What did you do?" Musk asked, noting the way the man's calloused hands gripped his sign. A worker's hands. The man sighed. "Name's Jack Reynolds. Worked here for 25 years. Senior mechanical engineer. Helped design some of the most efficient engines General Motors ever put on the road." He scoffed. "Then they shut this place down. Said we had to adapt or be left behind." Musk nodded, recognizing the bitter irony. "So you couldn't find another job?" "Oh, I tried," Jack said, adjusting his jacket against the cold. "Sent out resumes, even applied to Tesla once. Never heard back." He gave a dry chuckle. "Guess my skills don't mean much in this green revolution." Musk studied him for a moment. "What if I told you Tesla still needs people who understand precision engineering, manufacturing, and design?" Jack frowned. "I'd say you're messing with me." Musk smirked. "I don't mess around." He extended a hand. "Come to Austin. We're building something bigger than just cars. Your experience could be valuable." Jack hesitated, searching for the catch. "Why?" "Because talent like yours shouldn't go to waste." A long pause, then Jack took his hand. For the first time in years, he felt something stir inside him. Hope. A few days later, Jack stood inside the Tesla Gigafactory in Austin, his worn work boots planted on the spotless concrete floor. He had seen factories before, but nothing like this. The place hummed with precision. Robots assembling battery packs, automated arms piecing together electric motors with near microscopic accuracy. It was overwhelming, but something about it still felt familiar. Musk walked beside him, gesturing toward one of their production lines. "So this is where we assemble the drive units, completely different from an internal combustion engine, but the physics, torque, thermal management, efficiency, it all comes down to the same principles." Jack nodded, studying the components as they moved down the line. "Yeah, I see that. Your rotor there spins inside the stator, right? That's what generates the movement?" Musk raised an eyebrow. "Exactly." Jack scratched his chin. "You're probably using some kind of rare earth magnets in there to keep the efficiency up. And the way those cooling fins are cut, looks like you're preventing thermal expansion issues when it revs up." Musk folded his arms, intrigued. "That's correct. You're describing magnetic reluctance and heat dissipation optimization. Jack chuckled. Yeah, sure, whatever you want to call it. Back in the day, we just called that keeping the damn thing from seizing up. Musk laughed, a genuine, surprised laugh. You really picked all this up on the factory floor? Jack shrugged. Spend enough years tearing apart engines, you start seeing the patterns. You figure out what works and what don't. Just never had a fancy way of saying it. Musk shook his head in amazement. Most engineers spend years in universities just to understand what you explained in 10 seconds. Jack smirked. Yeah, well, I spent years with my hands in the guts of a machine, not just reading about it. Musk clapped him on the shoulder. Jack, I think we've been looking for people like you. For the first time in a long while, Jack felt something he thought he had lost. He wasn't just an old auto worker left behind by liberal ideals' destruction of the American dream. He was now part of the future. Musk had offered him a 6-figure salary on the spot, changing his life forever.